Resurrection is about a group of college kids going to investigate Michael Myers' house through a TV show to figure out why Michael Myers became a killer. Hey everybody, how you doing out there? Welcome to the final Halloween movie of the original timeline. Now, when it comes to these first 8, this is the movie that gets shit on the most. People cannot stand this movie. They just think that this movie should not even exist in any way. And I completely agree with them here. This is definitely not a good movie one bit. Honestly, ever since I first saw this movie, I didn't see this at the theaters, but I did rent it because I was working at a video store at the time, so I got a chance to rent it for free. And I still hated watching this movie. It was just that bad. And I feel like it always just gets worse and worse on every view. And this last one, I was just like, oh God, make this torture eventually stop. So we will get to my dislikes. But believe it or not, I do actually have some likes. So going with the first like is the Halloween theme song. I really do enjoy it. I mean, they hit you pretty early with the movie. I really like it. It's like almost like a keyboard or piano that they do with a little tweaking on that there. The only really dislike I could say about the theme song is that other than the beginning, I felt like all the other placements in the movie, it just didn't feel like it hit like it should, like it actually hit in like previous movies. When it comes to camera angles, there's one shot that I really do like in this movie. Call me a sucker because I think a lot of movies used to do this a lot. You had two characters talking, and we'll just kind of say that they're kind of right here. You got the camera right here. You got the male and the female, and the camera's close to the female there, and they're actually talking to another character through like sort of like an iPad or something. I'm not exactly too sure. And the way that the camera kind of pans between them and they show Michael Myers in the back, I really did think that that was like the biggest highlight of this entire movie. Michael Myers, not the actor himself, but actually a lot of times in this movie that they actually did a good job of not showing his eyes. They do still show his eyes in this. It's very painful for me to actually give this movie any credit, but I have to give this movie a little bit of credit compared to H2O, which I love that damn movie. At least in this one, even though they showed the eyes, they really did a good job most of the time covering up and not showing his eyes. I thought they did a really good job. Unfortunately, that's all I have for the likes. And moving on to the dislikes, the first thing I gotta say is that this movie should not exist. This piece of shit movie, I don't know why it's around. But the biggest reason is because the last movie, which is where it should have ended the timeline, made a lot of money for the studio, so they were very happy with that. So they're like, okay, well, we kind of painted ourselves in a corner in that last movie, but we got some great writers. They'll find a way to actually sort of save Michael Myers and bring him into this one. The story is pretty much, you got these 6 kids doing a reality TV show called Dangertainment that's kind of produced, directed by Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks. And they go into this house to try to figure out what goes on with Michael Myers, what makes this guy tick. And I hate the story because it's boring, it's dull, it's just plain fucking stupid. The script is almost as bad. I'm like, oh my God, this is what the actors and actresses needed to say. Oh my God, go back to the freaking drawing board and get a better script if you're going to do something and feel like that you're going to ruin 7. Not really, because people could just never believe that this movie ever exists and just stop at 7 and that's it. That's how I kind of personally feel. This was actually directed by the same guy who did Halloween 2, and I will definitely say that he should have just did Halloween 2, should have not kind of came back and did this movie here just to have a little bit more legacy of, oh, I directed 2 Halloween movies. I kind of feel bad for him. I kind of feel bad for the characters in this movie. And going with the characters, you got Jamie Lee Curtis, who has a small role in this, and they pretty much give her the middle finger. And I'm just like, you know, because of that character and her legacy that she went through, just like, why would you screw her over like that? For people who like her as our final girl and what she had to kind of, all the fight that she had to go through and the hell that she had in part 7, and then you just ruin it by doing it this way. And that really sucks. I mentioned Busta Rhymes and Tyra Banks as kind of producer, director of this reality TV show. And they've done better in many other things. I mean, Tyra Banks, her main thing is that she's a model, and she has done, of course, acting other than this movie here too. Busta Rhymes, just like LL Cool J, is a singer and an actor. He's done better with his music videos. They're pretty blah in this here. You get the 6 college kids going into Michael Myers' house, and they're all very blah. I mean, they have no chemistry with each other, and 3 of them are supposed to be friends. I don't care for any of them. I can't latch on to any of these characters because there's nobody good, there's nobody interesting, nobody intriguing to be, oh, I hope this person can survive or at least get far into the movie before Michael Myers takes him or her out. We don't get anything like that at all. I don't remember any of their characters' names, so the best way of kind of going with them is you got the plain and simple character, you got the kind of slut character, you got the black guy character, you got this girl who's a little too smart for her own good character, and then the other 2 guys are a mixture of just very horny and being assholes to everybody. You get Michael Myers, who is very boring in this movie. I don't think he really has a whole lot to actually do in this here. The kills that he goes through are really weak, really stupid, really just ridiculous. That really, I feel like that this entire movie, I'm just rolling my eyes sitting down watching it. Really from the very beginning, when I first watched this, all the way until this recent watch here, I'm like, man, why does this movie exist? And I'm like, let the torture stop with this movie. But there's a scene where Michael Myers gets bitched out by another character, and then all of a sudden he just kind of walks away and keeps this person alive. And it's like, really, Michael Myers would have just put a knife between your eyes and you would have been done, and that would have been it. So I was kind of shocked of what they did there. And when it comes to the end of this movie, cliche open ending. We've seen endings like this many times before, much better than the way that this timeline finally ended, where 7 would have been the better timeline if it wasn't all just about the money and it was actually about the talent and good story writing like 7 actually got us here. Halloween Resurrection, I'm going to go a half out of 4 stars. Have you seen this movie? Is there any chance you like this movie, or do you despise it like many of us do, like myself? Give me a comment down below. We shall discuss it. Thank you guys so much for watching this movie review. I will see you guys in the next movie review.